What is up, guys? Jared Spalding here, and today I just wanted to make a quick video, I guess you could call it a powerlifting update, on whether or not Ray Williams was squatting deep enough at IPF Worlds 2018. Now, Ray Williams was one of just many beyond elite level powerlifters to compete at the esteemed IPF Worlds this past weekend. And IPF is a federation very much known for having strict squat judging, or specifically pertaining to the depth of your squat. You know, they have different calls as well, like I think hand placement sometimes can cause problems, and like finger placement on the bar. But specifically, they're very much known for being very strict about the depth of your squat. And in the past, this hasn't been too big of a problem for Ray. He, from what I've seen in both in training and especially in meets, he is very capable of hitting depth with the weight that he goes for. He currently holds the squat world record in sleeves, regardless of any federation, with 485 kilos or 1,069 pounds. I believe he has hit 1,058 in a full meet, or 480 kilos. And this is all under IPF conditions, mind you. So he is beyond anyone else in any federation, even federations that allow higher squats than the IPF. So Ray's pretty much proven that he can do what he needs to do to, get 3 white lights, usually. But at this particular meet, Ray's performance was overall very good. He actually broke the IPF world record deadlift with 398.5 kilos, or about 878 pounds. But his squat was a bit controversial, simply due to the fact that he only got one of his 3 attempts and got red lighted by at least one judge on every single one of his attempts for depth.
The classic Ray Williams setup. I still get goosebumps in this. 3 years in a row I've watched this man do his thing. It never gets old.
It's one of those things you have to see live. At least one time in your lifetime if you consider yourself a powerlifting fan.
It's worth the flight. Oh.
Unlocks, nice descent. His step stands up.
Oh. That moved well.
That moved very well.
That moved very well. Chest!
Now, I think even the judges were a bit surprised. You hear them say he hits depth and comes back up, and you can see the rep was very clean. It looked very much like it wasn't an instance of Ray purposely cutting depth because he couldn't hit the weight, and this was under 1,000 pounds. I mean, 442.5 kg, I believe, is around 970 or so pounds, so this is a weight that Ray usually can smoke as an opener, and he did smoke this, but he got called on by both side judges for depth. So you can see he decides to retake this attempt. He does not just simply move up. He goes for the 442.5 again.
Lifted, you've hit depth and you've hit that weight. Now they're making you take it again.
This is a man.
It's absolutely personal.
This is a man who feels slighted and is about to right a wrong. Moves out with authority. What do they say? And he gets...
I mean, he made that attempt look even easier than the last, and that kind of goes back to my point, that Ray clearly is not trying to cut depth in order to be able to barely squeak out the weight. And by the way, it was about 975 pounds, which is my mistake. But yeah, he obviously is somebody that can handle under 1,000 pounds very confidently. And it seems more like an issue of just, I guess, hitting what the judges consider to be appropriate depth. But he did manage to get 2 white lights, so obviously that was the big goal for Ray. I think that's why he didn't move up, because he's like, thinking at this point he has to, hit a squat. He doesn't want to bomb out on squats, because that's it, right? And then the meet's over. You're not going to win. And he's a reigning champion of this meet for the past several years, so obviously he wants another win in the bag. So for him, it was really going to be just making sure to get deep enough and then taking a big third attempt, which I believe he went for about 1,050 pounds on his third.
Ray's ready. Here he comes. Ray Williams
with the setup. Done a really good job with his setup now. Really, that's the way to settle.
Look at the smile on his face.
checks at the hips, hits depth, stands up.
Whoa! And that might be it.
And
That might be it.
That looks like a 3.
Now, I think this is the lift that really sparked a lot of controversy and really just shocked pretty much everybody. I mean, the commentators were expecting 3 white lights. I'm sure the audience was expecting it. I'm very sure Ray was expecting it because you can see this is about the deepest point that he hits. I mean, to me, this squat looks very good, but this is a front angle. I have not been able to find footage of a side angle. I don't think anyone took it because obviously the judges aren't going to be recording, and who's going to be in front of a judge recording? Would be obstructing their view and thus negating their authority. And speaking of authority, I want to quickly make it apparent to you guys that I don't in any way think I'm as qualified as an IPF judge. There's a reason why they are judging for the biggest federation in the world and one of the strictest, if not the strictest federation in the world. It's because they know what they're talking about. They know what to look for. And I am just somebody looking at a front angle view of the squat, not even a side angle. Obviously, my opinion doesn't mean crap compared to theirs because I'm not the one giving the lights. But I just feel that it very much looks like a case where almost Ray's quads were just too big to properly judge. I really do think that the way that judges generally are going to be deciding whether or not a squat is deep enough, it just cannot be applied to a lifter who has just such massive quads as Ray really does. You know, it just is going to be, I think, a case where we need new judging. You know, I really do think that for lifters such as Ray, where in the past, for one, this depth was allowed, which I feel like is kind of sending, the wrong message that you allow him to sometimes get a good 3 whites, sometimes not for the same depth. And for 2, you're judging him the way that you're judging people half his size. This really isn't fair. I really do feel that in a way Ray was kind of cheated, and I don't think the IPF was necessarily biased against him. I really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm not behind the scenes, so I'm nobody to say what happens. But I just do think that the judging overall is kind of unfair to Ray. I mean, I'd imagine if Ray wanted to leave the IPF and go to another federation, whether it be tested or not, maybe with a little bit less strict judging on squat, he could easily hit 500 kg plus. I mean, I understand why he stays here, or why he has in the past. For one, he wants to compete as a drug-tested athlete. And for 2, I think that he genuinely, likes the integrity of these meets, that they require such strict depth. But now it really does seem like it's becoming an issue for him. This seems to me about as deep as Ray could really feasibly bring himself. I mean, I don't know. I just can't imagine calling this depth bad. I mean, like I said, I am in no way qualified. Obviously, the judges know a lot more about judging a squat than I do. But it does seem to me that there is something a little bit unfair about the way that this particular squat especially was judged. It does seem to me that Ray got deep enough. But, I mean, who am I? I'm not the one giving him the lights, right? And if the judges think it wasn't deep enough, then obviously the lift's not going to go. And that's just going to be that. So I really just want to make a video talking about it. Like I said, I really don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to, feel some kind of fire or something. I'm trying to act like I know more than the judges do, because I don't. I don't know crap. But I just want to contribute my opinion to the plethora of those that are probably already out there or will be out there soon. That being said, peace.